Are you confident with your karate ukes or defense techniques? Well, today let me introduce you one simple rule that you should follow when doing a karate block. So let's get started. The one simple keyword I'd like you guys to take away from today is spins. And it doesn't really matter if you're doing a soto-uke, age-uke, soto-uke, what else? Soto-uke, gedan-barai. It doesn't really matter which block you're doing. There are three underlying principles or tips that you should follow related to the topic of spins. So starting with the first one, you have to think about this axis through your arm when doing a block. So what I mean by that is, imagine there is one single iron, like a iron bar that's going through your arm, and that should be the center of this rotation. So let's say, imagine the iron bar starts from here all the way to the elbow, and try rotating your arm with that bar at the center. I think it's very hard. See, if I do this, see how my center of the rotation is being changed? However, I think this is a little more towards one center point, right? So think about this in your mind and do the blocks. So let's say you're doing a soto-uke. With the soto-uke, if you're doing the block like this, then the center changes, right? But then if the block is applied like this, then it's moving with the one center point. This goes the same for all the blocks because they all have the rotation at the very end. So having one point, one single point for your rotation or your spin is very important. Point number two is the timing of when the rotation happens. So the answer is you must turn it at the very last moment. So let's say you're doing a soto-uke like this. If you start spinning around here, right, then it'll take a long time after your wrist finishes the spin to move here. So let's do a comparison. First, pattern number one, I'm going to spin it early at a faster timing. Pattern number two, I'm going to spin it at the last moment. So pattern number one, it's very hard to stop the motion. But pattern number two, see, I'm not using the power of my lower body, but just using my upper body. I think you saw the difference. So it doesn't really matter which block you're doing, please turn at the last moment. And the keyword of doing everything at the last timing or moment is very crucial in karate. Punches, kicks, everything, I think you can think of it as being applied at the last moment. So changes come at the last moment. So the last tip, number three, is turning your hip with the block. So let's say you're doing a block like this, for instance. If you're doing this, there are two ways to think about this. In Shotokan, you turn the hip to the other side. So if your arm is moving this way, the hips move this way. So like this. Like this. But in a lot of Okinawan, those ancient types of karate, your hip and the wrist turns to the same direction. So if I'm doing this, my hips turn this way too. So like this. This can be seen in the older styles of karate. But whatever you do, please turn your hip to either direction of your style. If you're doing this, in Shotokan, you turn it the other way. If you're doing this, the hip turns with the arm. So like this. If you're doing an upper block, you turn to the hanmi, which means facing sideways, like this. So please, that was the third point. So I hope you guys understood that spin or the rotation of your blocks are very important in karate. So just for review, have one single point for the rotation, rotate your hips as well, and rotate at the last moment. If you guys love this video, then please turn that like button to blue. I really appreciate it. It helps out with the algorithm. And also check out these two videos as well and subscribe to my channel. If you want to join me on a group lesson that I do online, then please send me a DM on Instagram at karate-age. in Dash Tokyo. So I'll see you guys next time.